Do you think that your physical body is the only body you have? Think again. Today we're talking about your other body, which is even more important. I can't wait for you to dive into this episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Energetically Efficient Show. I'm Kristin Rowell, and this is going to be a really quick episode to introduce you to a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, but that's something that I really haven't talked about yet on this show. And that is the topic of energy. So I wanted to do a short episode to record about this because I've recently been teaching about energy in some of my courses, and people are so interested in the topic and know so little about it that I thought it would be fun to do an introductory topic here. So what do I mean when I say energy? Well, the first thing that I want you to know about it is that you have an energy body. In fact, you have multiple energy bodies, but for the purposes of this episode, let's just talk about your energy body as something that's separate from your physical body. So we walk around as humans on this earth thinking that this physical body that we have, that what you're looking at here on the screen, that what I'm touching as I talk to you, that this is who we are. And it's not. It's literally just a shell. This is the meat suit that Kristin, the soul, that my energy came here to inhabit while I am here on this earth. So what's interesting to me is that in all of the education that we are taught in our regular educational institution, specifically for sure here in America, no matter what level of education we go to, we're never taught about energy. We're not taught about how to work with our energy. We're not taught that we have an energy body, which is so fascinating to me because it is 99.99999% of who you are. You are only less than 0.0001% of a physical body. What we can see is not who you are, okay? So your energy body is out here in this field that exists about 6 feet around you. I want you to put your arms out as you're watching this and see how far the ends of your fingertips go. That's where your spirit body or your energy body ends. So all of this stuff between the end of my skin and outside in a circle around me, out to the ends of my fingertips in distance, is where my energy body lives. And your energy body is responsible for how you experience your reality. Your energy body really is what is the level of your frequency resonance. Do you vibrate at a frequency resonance that is higher, or do you vibrate at a frequency resonance that is lower? And the higher your resonance, the more amazing your life becomes. So let's pretend you vibrate at, and that is your resonance, okay? You will experience your reality as a certain way at that resonance, at that vibrational level. You will meet certain people on your path because of that resonance. You will interact with people in a certain way. You will have certain job opportunities. You will live in a certain place. You will have experiences throughout your day at that resonance. Now, if you work on raising your frequency resonance so that you vibrate at something like, and it's that much higher, your life will be all the more magical. We have multiple different timelines that we can be on in any given time. And a simple way that I like to explain this to people, because they look at me like, what are you talking about, Kristin, timelines? Is I say, if you've ever watched the movie, I think it came out in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s, and it's a movie that Gwyneth Paltrow was in called Sliding Doors. And the whole premise of the movie was, Gwyneth was running late to catch a train. And if she missed the train because she was late, her life went one way. And if she caught the train because she made it on time, rushing in before the doors closed, her life went this way. That simple act of whether or not she got on that train dictated completely different life. That's happening to us every single day, throughout every day, because of the choices we're making, because of the circumstances that are presented to us, and all of that is because of our own frequency resonance. So you may be saying, well, wait a second, Kristin, this doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I thought, my life is dictated by whether or not I wake up in the morning and I choose to exercise or not, whether or not I eat really good food, how it is that I treat people, what it is that I do for work, all of these different things that we think make up our reality. But what I'm here to tell you is, before you even get to any of those things are all dictated by the level of your frequency resonance. So I started doing frequency work with other mentors in 2018, 2019, sometime around then. And it truly has been the most important aspect of the work that I do, because I do a lot of different work on myself, that truly has changed my life for the better and has changed my life the fastest. So I consider frequency work to be the most efficient and effective way to raise my own resonance, which is why I'm such a fan of it. I'm going to put some resources below this video for you so that you have a lot of different things you can look at to see if any of these resources resonate with you, to be able to elevate your own frequency resonance. Some of these resources are completely free. Some of these resources are paid for. For example, there is a morning meditation that I do every single morning before I get out of bed. It's 14 minutes, and I do that intentionally in the morning to raise my frequency resonance as high as possible for the day, and it makes a difference in how my day turns out. I have a positive day, and I have more positive experiences because of setting my frequency resonance as high in the beginning of the day. And on that point, I should mention, it's not like you exist at this frequency resonance and that's the only resonance that you are. I should mention also that your frequency resonance, and what I've learned from mentors over the years, is essentially a bandwidth. It's like a range of radio stations. I want you to think of, depending on your choices, depending on the inputs that you do, depending on how well you've slept, depending on what you're eating, depending on what you're drinking, depending on who you're spending time with, depending on what you're watching, depending on what you're consuming, depending on what you're listening to, all of these things impact your frequency resonance. So your frequency resonance could be at its lowest point, I'm making up numbers here, 92.9, thinking of it as a radio station, and at its highest point, 104.6. So let's say you range from 92.9 to 104.6, depending on what your inputs are during the day. Well, the reason that I start my day with this morning meditation, which I think I paid like $29 for, it's not expensive, and now I own it and I do it every day, is because I'm interested in being at 104.6 instead of being at 92.9. I want to be as high as I can in my own bandwidth to be as highly resonating as possible, to have more amazingness, more magic, more synchronicities, more divine guidance throughout my day. Now, as I've done frequency work over the last several years, my resonance and my range, let's say, has gotten higher. So I'm making up numbers again. Let's say now I vibrate between 102.1 and 109.4. I'm making up numbers again. And so now my bandwidth is the 102.6 that I had said before, 104.6, whatever number I gave, forgive me, I don't remember, is at the lower end of my range because I have elevated my frequency resonance that much higher. And that bandwidth is what I'm trying to say. That bandwidth of my frequency resonance dictates my entire reality. So the other thing that I'm going to put below this video, which I find is a very amazing visual way to get a sense of this, is this amazing frequency resonance video that I found on YouTube that shows how matter rearranges itself in terms of the frequency of the vibration. And when I found this video on YouTube, it was because I was searching for it after I had come back from my first Joe Dispenza retreat. So if you've never heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he wrote an amazing book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He's written a ton of other books, but that one I really loved in particular. He also wrote a book called Becoming Supernatural, which is very good. And he's been interviewed on several podcasts, and I recommend that you consider checking those out. But after I came back from my first Joe Dispenza retreat, where he had shown some kind of a video like this on the screen while I was in this week-long immersive retreat with him, I thought, oh my God, this is what I've been trying to put into words to help people understand how important our frequency resonance is. Like, this is a visual description of how your life rearranges itself depending on your vibrational level. So I'm going to link that video below here so that you can watch it. It's only like 3.5, 4 minutes, but it's a great visual way to understand what it is that frequency resonance means in terms of our physical reality. So I mentioned the morning meditation, and the morning meditation was created by one of my primary spiritual mentors in this world of frequency work. Her name is Cheong, and she owns a business called Spherical Luminosity. So I'm going to link her here. I'm going to put a link also to her podcast, which is a totally free resource where she provides a lot of information about frequency work. And then she provides a free guided meditation at the end of every single episode, which will help you in terms of upgrading your frequency bandwidth. Now, I go on spiritual retreats with her and with other people around the world to work on the consciousness of the planet, to not only raise my own frequency resonance to make my life more magical and amazing and synchronistic and abundant and joyful and all of the things, but I also am doing work with other people on the frequency resonance of planet Earth. Because as a reminder, in case you've forgotten this, and I would say that most people have forgotten this, given the polarity on the planet right now, as a reminder, we are all one. We all emanate from the same source. We are all connected. We have a divine intelligence within us that allows us to experience life as one single unit through the level of our consciousness. So when I go on spiritual retreats to work on the frequency vibration of the planet, or when I do my own meditation work to work on my own resonance or the resonance of the planet, I'm doing that as a service to others, as a service so that we can all elevate together. When we all start to work on our own frequency, when we all start to work on elevating our consciousness, the whole entire planet gets better because we are one. So if there's one takeaway I could leave you with in this short little episode about energy, I want you to remember that what you eat, what you drink, what you watch, what you listen to, everything in terms of what you consume, who you spend your time with, what you focus on, what you allow yourself to go down rabbit holes about, all of that matters in terms of our collective vibration, and all of it matters in terms of the frequency of your life and the life of the planet. So I can't impress upon you enough how, in addition to focusing on your physical health, which is of course what I talk a lot about on this show, that focusing on your energetic health is equally, if not more important. One of the things I've noticed with my own vibrational level as I have raised it over time is that it becomes a lot easier to eat well. It becomes a lot easier to not want to drink alcohol. It becomes a lot easier to, I haven't done this in over a decade, but I'm just saying, not watch the news. I don't engage in behaviors like that because they drop my frequency resonance. They would lower my vibration, and I'm not interested in lowering my vibration because I am aware of, given my own experience with raising my frequency resonance so much, how much more amazing life can become, how much more synchronistic life can become, how much more abundant life can become, how much more in flow you can be in life, all because you work on your energy. So like I said, I will place a number of resources for you below this video. If you enjoyed this topic, even though this was a very brief episode for you, I'd love to hear from you because I want to do more topics like this in the future. I want to have guests on who can share with you about the importance of energy and the importance of frequency work. And if this is something that's of interest to you, I really want to hear about it. So in addition to physical health on this channel, we're also going to talk about energetic health and energetic hygienic practices that you can engage in order to make sure that you are keeping yourself as clean and clear as possible and raising your consciousness so that we can raise the consciousness of the planet together. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on another episode of this show. Goodbye.